Good evening, everyone. This is Robert Jamieson, and welcome to our online chess lesson for Thursday, the 25th of July. I have someone with me in the studio here today, Elijah Cordova. Say hello.
Hi.
You've been here before, haven't you? So you know what to do?
Yep.
Yep, all right. So we've got a few new people, so tell them a bit about yourself. So how old are you?
8.
8. And what's your rating? Do you know? You're a junior master, you've got a rating of 800 or 900 yet, or you're pretty close?
800.
Okay, not quite a junior master yet.
Yeah.
But you're getting close. So Elijah's going to help me out today with our game and our puzzle. And we have a few new people here today, so hopefully you'll get the hang of what we're doing. We start off with a little puzzle, which I've got up on the screen. Now, this was a game played last Friday at the Box Hill Gradeston, I think it is. White is the Victorian Junior Champion, Carl Zalesko, who's rated about 2200. And black is a good junior named Max Chu Lee, who's about 1900. So, Elijah, do you think it's a pretty even position, or is black better or white better? Who do you think's winning?
Looks even.
Looks pretty even. Okay. Now, if you were Max playing against Carl Zalesko, the champion, would you want to get a draw or would you want to beat him? From this position, if you were black, what do you think?
Draw.
You'd settle for a draw? All right. So what move did you come up with in this position? What move would you like to play?
Knight F3.
Knight F3. Okay. Now that's a really sneaky move. And guess what? That's the move that Max actually played. So we'll see what happens in a second. But I was sitting at home watching this game because it was a live DGT broadcast. And I said to myself, I'm Max, I want to get a draw because my opponent's much better than me. So the move I'm going to play is Queen C6. Did you look at that one or not? No? Okay. Well, I've just won a pawn, so you pretty much got to take me. Then black takes back. We have a big swap off. White takes, black takes, and white takes. So we got into a rook ending. Rook and 4 pawns versus rook and 4 pawns. Now, you were on our endgame camp, weren't you? So you'd be an expert on endings?
Yeah.
So you reckon this is going to be a draw or a win for someone?
Draw.
Why do you reckon it's going to be a draw? White's got an extra outside pass pawn.
Yeah.
So normally you'd say outside pass pawns are pretty good, but as compensation, what's black got?
A rook.
What sort of a rook? What did I scream at everyone at the camp? Try and make your rooks
Active.
active, yes. So black in this position has the active rook, and white's king's cut off. So, so even if white tried to move his pawn forward, not that his go yet. Like what will I do if it were me here? Let me think. I think I'd probably play rook d4 to attack his pawn. He has to defend it, and then I'd go back again to cut his king off. So even if he pushes his pawn, where will we put our rook?
A2.
A2, because rooks belong behind
Pawns.
half pawns, yes. So we've got our rook in the killer position, and Max would get a really easy draw. But he didn't do that. He did your move. He did the killer knight F3 check. So maybe it's a winning move, maybe it's not. Let's have a look. So takes, takes. Now, why did you like that? What appeals to you about that?
Well, swap off, and now we've got double pawns.
Yep, so white's got doubles pawn. And what about black's rook?
And the rook.
What sort of rook is it? Is it in a good spot? It's a really active rook, isn't it?
Yeah, active.
Yeah, and white's king is looking a bit open. Yeah. So maybe black can get a good attack against white's king. But against that, white has a really strong pass pawn here on c6. So it sort of could go either way. Let's have a look and see what happened. So, Carl hit his king in the corner. And Max just played h5. Then Carl played queen e4. Now, his sneaky idea here is he wants to play queen e5 to get the queen out of the way of the pasty. And then he'll push his pass pawns through and try and get a win. So if you were Max, what do you reckon you could do here to counter that? Any idea?
F6.
Or then you'd lose your e-pawn. I'll tell you what, we need a bit of help here, folks. So you all have a think, what would you play if you were black in this position? So type in the question, your move for black. It might be a good drawing move. It might be a good attacking move. What would you play? Someone coming up with rook d6. Thomas likes rook a2. There's a few other moves worth looking at. No one else coming up with another suggestion? Do you like either of them, rook d6 or rook a2? What do you think, Elijah?
Rook d6.
Rook d6. Rook d6 is possible. You have to be careful. I might be sneaky and play queen e5, then sneakily take that rook and then push my pawn and get another queen. Probably the best move might be rook d5.
No, but then with the queen, you take the pawn.
Ah, but then rook takes queen. I got queen for rook.
Yeah, you also got a queen for rook.
So hang on, we'll go back. So on rook d6, I'm going queen e5. What do you want to do? You want to take the pawn like that?
No.
No?
Like if black does like any move.
Right, if black does any move. So he moves his king in the corner or something.
Then, yeah. And then he takes.
I take. Queen takes. Then I push my pawn through.
And then you take the pawn, but you're down a...
Yeah, you're going to be down a rook. Yeah, you might get perpetual with the queen or something. All right. So anyway, get back to this position. Rook d5 might be good. What did he do? He, in fact, went for broke. He did queen b6. So now his plan there, can you see what he's up to? He's going to bring his queen way down here and try and get checkmate on h2. So the game's in the balance, could go either way.
Okay.
Nope. Carl's going for the queen. Max is going for the checkmate. Now the question is, who's going to get there?
Queen check.
Now we'll stop here for a second, so give everyone a chance. So let's say you're white in this position. What move would you play here for white? So type in on the question what move you reckon Carl should play here. He hasn't got too many choices because queen takes h2 is checkmate. So Joey wants to get a queen on c8. Callum agrees. Thomas agrees. Justin agrees. So everyone's going pawn to c8 equals queen. You do that too, wouldn't you, Elijah? Free queen with check. That's what Carl did. You want to hear the bad news? It's not the best move. Do I say something about look at all checks and captures? You remember that? Can you see an interesting check for white that's not pawn equals queen check? What could white do instead?
Queen takes g6.
Yes. In fact, he's got mate in 5. Queen takes g6. Pawn takes. He gets the queen. King up. Rook check. King up. Hasn't made my pawn into a queen, but queen h8. Mate in 5. But poor old Carl didn't see that. He went queen. But now the question is he going to get checkmated? Or is Carl going to find a way that he's going to get checkmate? What do you reckon he should do here?
I think Max is going to win.
You think Max is going to win? All right, so we need some help for Carl again, guys. What should white play here? Or is he just up the creek and it's going to be checkmate on h2? Derek's come up with an interesting idea.
Queen takes g6.
Nathaniel, yep, most of you have seen it. So Carl, in fact, played queen takes g6. King takes, queen check, king hides, queen check, king across, rook check, and it's resigned time because it's going to be checkmate or the queen will have to give it up for the rook. So who won the game, Carl or Max?
Carl.
Carl, the better player, won. So silly old Max, if he had gone back to our original position, if he had played queen takes c6, easy draw, but he made the wrong decision. Oh, well, that's what chess is all about, guys, making the right decision. So let's have a look here. Now, I've chosen a game for you today, not one of Elijah's games, but a game that happened, in fact, I think yesterday or the day before or something, because the Australian 16 and under team is currently playing in China in the World U16 Teams Championships. In fact, we have 2 teams. But our A team is pretty good with Bobby Ching and Ari Dale and Justin Tan and all those guys. So we're hopeful they'll do reasonably well. And I was following this live game with Ari Dale against the 2nd seed, an Indian player. So I thought you'd like to have a look and see how Ari goes. So we're going to support white. Okay, so off we go. So it's a D4 game. And he plays the Slav defense. What do you play D4 or not, Elijah? No. So he does a pawn exchange in the center. All right, so it's Ari to move here. Now, what do you reckon he should move? A knight or a bishop?
Knight.
Why?
Because if you move the knight, then it can block out here.
So you want to play knight c3?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You're probably right. In fact, there's a general saying that we have that move knights before bishops.
Yeah.
Generally because we know the best square for the knight is going to be f3 or c3, and we're not quite sure the best square for the bishop. But in this position, Ari in fact moved his bishop. All right, so he must have a reason. So you see if you can help me. Why would Ari have decided to move his bishop first? What's his idea? Any clues?
No.
Okay, well I think probably he's going to play e3. He doesn't want to get his bishop locked in behind the pawn chain. And in this position he's probably actually threatening bishop takes knight and then queen a4 check, winning a pawn. So it's an okay move, but probably the knight was better. All right, so black gets out of it by developing his knight. We play our pawn to e3. So we're just playing standard developing moves now, putting our knights out. Black's played a6 to stop our knight going to b5. Now white plays bishop out. So it's interesting, he hasn't put his king knight out yet. So let's go back. Why do you think he might move his bishop instead of playing, because we'd normally play knight f3, wouldn't we? That looks like the normal move. But Ari's moved his bishop. Why do you reckon he might have done that?
So black's bishop can't go to f5?
Yes, or could even go to g4 to pin the knight. So, but that'd be great for Ari if black had to play e6 and lock his bishop in, because Ari's got his bishop outside the pawn chain. So Ari's playing bishop d3, so the black bishop can't go to f5, probably. All right. But black has a sneaky move. He goes to g4 instead. So he's got his bishop outside the pawn chain.
f3?
f3? Why do you like f3?
Then the bishop has to retreat. And
Yep.
it has to retreat like to
h5 or something?
h6.
Well, I wouldn't go to e6. If we play pawn to f3, it'd probably go to h5.
Yeah.
Is that good for us, do you reckon? How's that improved our position?
Well, then I think you have to do knight a2 and castle.
That's okay. And look at our control of the centre, because like we've got more control with the pawn on f3. We've got more pawns in the centre than the other guy. So probably f3 would be a good move. Ari put his knight in the way instead. So what do you reckon black should do here? You want to develop something, or what do you want to do?
a6?
e6 is the obvious move. He didn't do that. He was a bit sneaky. He did bishop takes knight. So he's probably worried that you're going to play that f3 on him and chase him away. So he said, all right, I want to swap my bishop for the knight. Then I'm going to put all my pawns on white squares, saying I've lost my white square bishop, and I should be okay. All right, now guys, question for you. Let's have a little quiz. Ari's go. What piece should he take back the bishop with? He's got 4. Some of them are pretty silly. So what move would you play for white here? So type in the question. What do you reckon white should do here? So Thomas wants to take with the queen. Callum wants to take with the queen. Daniel the queen. Bridges the bishop. Josh, Gil, Joey wants to take with the knight. Nathaniel the bishop. Arthur the bishop. We've got a few differences there. All right, let's see if Elijah can help us. So Elijah, what do you think? Would we take with the knight? Would that be a good move?
No.
Why not?
Because you're retreating your knight.
Yeah, the knight's on a good square now, isn't it? And C3 is better than E2, so why would we want to treat with the knight? All right, we don't want to take with the king because that'd be silly, we couldn't castle.
Yeah.
All right, so do you choose to take with the bishop or the queen?
Queen.
Why?
It develops a piece.
Yeah, yeah. I think you should take with the queen. My computer thinks you should take with the queen. Ari wants to take with the bishop, so I don't know what he's on about there. That looks like a slight blunder to me because the bishop was better on D3. All right, so that was a little bit funny. So let's see what happened. Maybe Ari's got a reason. E6. Now Ari plays queen B3. Aha! So maybe this is his reason. He wants to get his queen out and try and put some pressure on black's queen side. He's threatening that knight pawn up there. And black might be a little bit weak on the white squares because he's lost his white square bishop maybe. Okay, so let's see what black does. Knight A5, hitting the queen. All right, what do you want to do about that, Elijah?
Maybe...
You have to move your queen somewhere. Where do you reckon you put it?
You have to retreat.
You have to retreat, so you've got C2, you've got A4, you've got D1. What do you reckon?
C2.
C2. Nope. He goes forwards. A4. Check.
B5.
That's a good question. All right, let's see what people think. So Ari's gone for the controversial queen A4 check. If you were black here, guys, what would you play for black? So type in the question what your next move is. Joey's gone queen D7, Gil's B5, Joshua's B5, Bridges has dropped the horse back to C6. Daniel's gone knight E7, which is illegal. Maybe you mean knight D7. Arthur's gone king D7, which looks horrible. Knight D7 from Arthur. Okay, let's have a chat to maybe Joshua. You there, Joshua? Talk to me, Joshua. Nope, Joshua hasn't got his mic on. We can't talk to Joshua. All right, we'll try Derek. You there, Derek?
Yes.
Right, now which move did you choose?
I choose B5.
All right, why do you choose B5?
Because the queen has to go back to C2 or D1.
All right, so you're gaining space and getting a free move.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Elijah, do you agree with that? You want like B5 or you want to do something different?
I like B5.
Okay. Now, when we've decided on our move, Derek, before we make it, what should we ask ourselves?
Where do you want our pieces?
What about what is he going to reply? We need to check what his reply is going to be to our move before we make it, in case he's got a really good move. So what did you think he was going to reply to B5?
I thought he might take with the bishop.
Yes. Is that going to be good for black or good for white?
It'll be 2 pawns for a piece down, but his queen side has no pawns.
All right. And doesn't he have a pretty good threat? His knight's coming into C7 with double check.
Yeah.
Picking up the rook in the corner. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a little bit better for white. So for all those of you who said B5, I hope before you do it you check and have a look at that sacrifice just in case. But the guy didn't do it. He was playing safe. He dropped his knight back to C6. All right. What do we do now, Elijah? White to play, what do you reckon he should do? Should we attack something or develop something or make our king safe? What should we do?
Castle.
Castle, yes. So many juniors launch into attacks before they're ready. So castles, good move. Now, the other guy plays bishop d6. Okay, now he wants to swap bishops from the look of it. All right, let's have another poll. So you're Ari, black is challenging bishops. Do we want to leave our bishop there? Do we want to swap bishops? Do we want to move it somewhere? What move would you do if you were Ari? So type in on the question what move you think white should play here. So Bridges is going bishop g5, Daniel's agreeing, Josh is agreeing, Joey wants bishop d3. No, it's not. Oh, Derek wants bishop takes bishop. We've got 3 different moves so far. Sam wants bishop takes bishop. Arthur wants bishop g5. What do you like, Elijah? Which do you prefer?
Bishop g5.
Bishop g5. Okay. Now, would you want to play bishop takes bishop here, or would that be bad? What do you think?
Taking it bad because when you take, then the queen develops.
Yeah, he recaptures with developing move. So we're like giving him a free move, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably not so good. The best move, bishop g3 is all right. Bishop g5 is probably the best move. But here Ari made a really silly move. He played rook fc1. I don't know what he's thinking about. But apparently he described that move as a mouse slip. Can you believe that? He's not playing on the computer. He's playing a normal game of chess. And when he makes a blunder, he reckons it's because his mouse slipped. He doesn't have a mouse, I'm thinking. So he's come up with an excuse. All right. So Elijah, Ari's made a funny move. What are you going to do to punish him? Black to play. What do you reckon?
Take the bishop.
Yes, let's take that bishop. Now, why do we want to take the bishop? Why is that good?
Because that's isolated pawn.
Yep, so the pawn on f4. Oh, is it isolated? No, hang on, it's got buddies over here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, but there is an isolated pawn somewhere. Yes, so we've got isolated pawn there. All right, any other problems? What are these called?
Double pawns.
He's got double pawns as well. Are double pawns good or bad?
Bad.
Generally they're bad. Why are they bad?
Because like it's kind of like the same pawn.
They keep bumping into each other and stuff. They don't complement each other. They're in the way. All right. So now the problem here, and one of the reasons I chose this game, is with Ari's weakened pawn structure now, for a lot of the rest of the game, he doesn't really have any play with his pawns. Normally we try to get 2 pawns side by side and sort of push them up together and they help each other and you get some good pawn play. But because Ari's got isolated pawns and double pawns, he probably can't do that. So we'll see what happens, because I reckon black is going better now. So black, let's see what he does. He just castles, so he gets the hell out of there. And Ari says, oops, I've made a blunder. I better put my rook back again. So he wasted a move. Now, if you were black, what would you be trying to gang up on? What would black's plan be? Yeah, type in on the questions, guys. You can help Elijah. Black's plan, he should be trying to gang up on something. What do you reckon he should do? Or what is he ganging up on? Daniel's got the right answer. Bridges has got it. Arthur hasn't got it. Joey's sort of got it. Elijah, so what's he ganging up on? What do you think?
The d4 pawn?
Yeah, because the d4 pawn, because it's isolated, that means it's got no buddies beside it to help protect it. So if black can keep attacking that and get more attackers than defenders, he might eventually knock that pawn off. So he starts off queen b6. So he's got a double attack on the pawn, and he's got an attack on the knight pawn as well. So Ari plays rook b1. Probably rook d2 would have been a bit better, but never mind. Queen a7. Now that looks funny. He's just moved his queen twice in a row. Why would he do that, Elijah? What's his idea? He's still got his queen attacking the d pawn. Why would he want to move his queen from b6 to a7? He must have a reason, because he's a pretty good player. What do you reckon his reason is?
Get these 2 pawns down.
Yeah, so he's probably thinking he's going to move his b pawn up, attack the queen, and if the queen moves away, what happens? We've got 2 attackers on the d pawn, and he's only got 1 defender. Okay, so he's made a move, and we've said to ourselves, what is he threatening? So he's threatening b5. Right, what do you want to do about it? He's going to try and have a double attack on our d pawn because our queen can't go back and defend it. What could we do? Our knight can't defend it. Our bishop can't defend it. We can't stop him playing b5. Any idea? We'll get them to help you. All right, we need some help. Type in on the questions, guys. What should white do? We don't want to lose that d pawn if we can help it.
Bishop takes a6.
Nope. Queen takes.
And then queen hits.
Bridges and Josh have come up with the right idea. Yep. All right. He can save his pawn and he plays rook d2. So that means that the queen, so he goes b5 and the queen can retreat back there, so he's still got 2 defending it. All right. Now, who do you reckon has got the better position here?
Black.
Why do you like black?
Because white is mostly retreating.
Yep.
Queen retreated.
The pieces are pretty backward, aren't they?
And black is attacking.
He's sort of gaining space. He's not really attacking, but have a look. So white's knight, has that got any good square to go to?
No.
No. All right. Now what about the bishop? I mean, you put on f3, but wherever the bishop goes, it's bumping in to all these black pawns on white squares, keeping him out of the play. And white's rook and queen, they're not doing much. So poor old Ari looks like he's tied down to a defensive game. All right. So what should you do if you're in a defensive position? What do you think? The guy just going to build up his pieces and try and break through maybe, or put up too many attackers? If you're in a defensive game, what sort of strategy would you have? Would you lash out for an all-out counter-attack and hope for the best, or what would you do? Would you just play safe and steady and see what happens? Or
I would attack.
You would attack, all right. Silly question. What would you attack in this position? Isn't black all nice and safe? I mean, look at black's king. He's got all these lovely pawns in front of him. He's got a knight to defend him, a rook to defend him. There's no weaknesses. So there's nothing to attack yet, and all our pieces are back on the back rank, so we can't really attack.
Yeah.
All right. So what we should do is just sort of hang in there, sit tight, and see what happens. Maybe we can get a bit of an attack later on. So we'll see how Ari plays in a defensive sort of game. So the guy puts his rook on c8. Why does he choose c8? What's good about rook on c8? Rooks belong on open files. That's right. And how many open files are there on the board? One. Yep. So we've got to put our rooks on. Maybe we're going to double our rooks. All right. Let's see what Ari does. Bishop f3. So he's putting his bishop in a better spot. The bloke plays rook d8. So he's just waiting around. Ari decides to drop the knight back. So now he's got 3 defenders of d4. So if black can get 3 attackers, we're still okay. So everything's all nice and defended. But black says, okay, I'm just going to build up and double. So where is black building up? Where's the pressure going to be? It's going to be on the king side, the centre, or the queen side?
Queen.
Queen side. Why would it be on the queen side, do you think? Why would that be the best spot for black to attack? Why doesn't he go for a big king side attack?
Because it's quite defended here.
Yeah, because you've got lots of defenders. Black's pieces are all on the queen side, and black has more space on the queen side. So you generally attack by more space. Now, if Ari was going to get an attack, what would he do? Would he go for the queen side, the centre, or the king side? Where's he got more space and more pieces?
King.
Yes. So if Ari's ever going to get attacked, it's probably going to be on the king side, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a real good attack at the moment. All right, let's see what happens. All right, rook on c1, so we're challenging the file. The other guy's doubled on us. So we double as well. Okay, so we've still got it covered. g6, okay. That doesn't look like a very threatening move.
It's just defending his king more.
Yeah, so he's just making everything safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because very often, particularly when you're playing young players, you'll find they just self-destruct because they think they've got to always be attacking and doing stuff. So if you just hang around in a nice, safe, solid position, they might launch out and do a sacrifice and it's no good. So it's quite okay for you to just repair your position, make your king a little bit safer, sort of move around and see what happens. Okay, now, so what's Ari going to... So, you're Ari, what would you do here? Maybe Ari can do the same thing. I want you to find me a nice, safe little improve my position type move. I think we're struggling, guys, so help Elijah. What would you play if you were white here? Bridges wants to go b3, Joshua likes g3, Thomas likes h3. Joey likes g4, Sam likes h3. Okay, a few going for h3, a few going for a3. Any of them appeal to you, Elijah?
H3.
H3. Why?
G3.
G3. Why do you like G3?
Well, that's for the same move.
Okay, so why would you prefer G3, say, instead of H3?
H3 does nothing.
Right.
And G3 king.
Yeah. So guess who got it right? Elijah got it right. G3. So notice the first thing, he's putting his pawns on the opposite colour to his bishop. So he's having dark square pawns because his bishop's on light squares. And now he's got a nice, safe, solid pawn chain. So that's a good pawn structure. Those pawns are all protecting each other. So that's a good little repair move. Now, the hard part. All right. Let's say we're black. Now, if I was black in this position, I wouldn't say, you know, what can I attack or what can I threaten or anything like that. The question I ask myself is, how can I improve my position? So I've got most of my pieces on pretty good squares. My knights are okay, my rooks are doubled, my queen's attacking that pawn. But I haven't broken through and he's defended everything. So I need a way to improve my position. So this will be a hard one for you guys. Let's see if anyone can get it. What should black play here? A move to improve his position. So Gil's going knight b4, Sam's going knight b4, Thomas has gone rook c5, which is illegal. We're looking for a black move. a5 from Brijesh, Daniel a5. Thomas has woken up, let us blacks go. Knight d7 from Nathaniel, Queen b6 from Joshua. King takes d4 from Max. Thank you, Max. You've been a big help. All right. Elijah, any of them appeal to you as a nice build-uppy move? Is knight b4 a build-uppy move?
Yeah, knight b4.
No, that's an attacking move. He's just going to swap off all the rooks and play A3 go away, isn't he? So has that helped us? Not really. That sort of relieves the tension. Okay. So if I'm trying to work out a build-up move, I say to myself, where do I want my pieces?
So, 7.
Why does my knight want to go to E7? Where's it going from there?
Could go
You
to...
want to go F5?
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's doing the same sort of job as it's doing on C6. It's attacking the D pawn. What about this knight on F6? Is it doing a good job? No. Correct. So the good move, knight E8. Now, first thing, that's the backwards move. So where's he going? What's he doing with that knight? Where do you reckon he's off to?
I think he's bringing it to D6.
He's going to bring a D6. Now, isn't that a better spot? Because it can go C4, it's supporting E4, can go to F5. 2 knights in the center like that, that'd be fantastic. So black has come up with a really good plan, knight D8. Ari just moves his king up. Black moves his king in the middle. So no one's broken through yet. Ari's playing H3. Now the other bloke's jumping in knight C4. What are we going to do about that? Do we like his knight in on C4?
No.
No. Let's tell the show off, shall we? B3, yeah. We don't want knights on good squares, so go away. So he goes back again. Now Ari just improves his position a little bit with queen D2. So Ari's done a good job here. He's hung in there, got his rooks on the double file, on the C file. Queen's okay, bishop okay, knight's a bit passive, but see, so he hasn't self-destructed. He hasn't done the big attack that the juniors do. He's just playing nice and solidly. So what can black do now? He's got his knight on D6. How's he going to break Ari's resistance? How he's going to push him back and get more threats coming?
Knight F5.
Could go F5. So that would be a triple attack on the D pawn. Maybe he can block the attack with rook D5 though. That might get out of it. All right. Any other idea? Have a look at your pawns. Anything we can do with those pawns? Is there a pawn you might want to move to gain some space? And
Do A5.
yes. All right. So here he comes, A5. So he's gaining space. Remember we said he's attacking on the queen side, so he wants to push us back. So he's going to do something like B4, and then maybe his knight's going to come in here or then jump in here or something like that. He's going to do something on the queen side on the black squares. So, all right, we'll be back to being Ari. What can Ari do? Does he still hang around there and wait and see what happens?
Yeah.
Or does he try and get some play? What do you think?
He could do A3 to pull up.
He could do A3, that's not too bad. Yep. Any other ideas?
H4 to make this king.
Yeah, H4. Right. Ari decides, okay, it looks like I'm probably going to get squished on the queen side eventually. So I'll try and do something on the king side. Play G4. So remember how we said if he was going to get an attack, it'd be on the king side? So at least he's trying a bit now. So the other guy says, all right, hang on, I better drop my knight back just in case something terrible is happening back there. All right, what should we do for Ari now, do you think? Should we swap rooks or not swap rooks, maybe? Who's on the defensive? Who's got less space? White. So if you're on the defensive with less space, is it good for you to swap or not to swap?
Swap.
Good, swap. Because then we're not so cramped. So we go swap, swap. Now Ari doesn't swap again. He plays rook C2. Not sure about that one because he doesn't want to give black the C file straight away. What could he do? we'll get some help. Rook c2. Instead of that, guys, what do you reckon Ari should perhaps do here?
Take.
Rook takes rook, queen takes rook, then that's given in the C file. I'm not sure that's a good one. What else could he do? H4, British is saying, to keep trying attack on the king side. Any other ideas? Knight c3 from Arthur. Queen e3 from Callum. A3 from Gil. Do you like any of them, Elijah?
I like to swap.
Okay, well that would give them the C file. Probably A3, and we could challenge them, but A3, and then if he takes us, we take him back with the queen, then we've got the C file. It's not always good to swap. So probably A3, I reckon, would have been a good move. Ari goes rook C2. Black goes B4. Now Ari says, oh dear, all right, I better swap now. Swap, swap. All right, looks like Black's going to invade on the queen side with knight B5. So you want to do some more swapping?
Yeah.
So you'll be left with one knight, won't you? Now, how many times can he attack your d-pawn with his knights? Twice. How many times can you defend with your knights? Once. So you're probably going to drop your d-pawn maybe. So we probably need our queen to defend. All right. Can we do anything else apart from defend now? Players are getting near time trouble, so it could be getting exciting. What should we do? Should we try and stir him up and go for broke? Or do we still sit pat and hope for the best?
You could just do A4.
A4? What about en passant?
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to do that. You're close. What Ari does, H4. Right, so Ari says, I'm not going to lie down and die now. I've tried sitting there, but you're improving your position. So I'm just going to try and get some counterplay on the king side and hope for the best. So the other guy, knight B5. So he's increasing his domination on the queen side. All right, Elijah, you've got to help Ari with his attack. What do you want to do? You've got three nice pawns in a row helping each other.
H5.
H5, very good. Now he plays queen B6, so he's trying to defend us down to that d-pawn defense. So I've got an idea. Let's keep pushing H6. So we've got an advanced pawn, and you never know, we might be able to get our queen up on G7 or something like that and get a nice checkmate. So it gives us a little bit of a chance. So the other guy says, all right, I'm not sure about my king safety, so I'm going to run away to F7. So he plays F6. What can we do now?
Don't want to do G5.
Not G5 yet, because his knight would probably bounce into a good square. Can we improve the placement of our pieces? Remember what I said before? What piece can we improve the placement of? Can the bishop? Where can the bishop go? It'll get taken. What about the knight? Can we move the knight, or will it lose our d-pawn? All right. What about our queen? Can we improve the placement of the queen?
Yeah.
Where?
E3.
How about we go E3? So now we've got a bit of pressure on his e-pawn. So it's a slightly better square. All right. So he plays king F7. Okay, we're getting in time trouble, guys. So Ari's move. What would you like to play for Ari? Key point of the game. Choose a move for white. So type in on the questions what you reckon white should play here. Callum's got an idea. Callum's got F5. Joshua's got G5. Jill's G5. Oliver's F5. Thomas, Nathaniel, Joey at G5. All right, looks like it's F5 or G5. What do you like? G5 or F5? Elijah, what do you choose?
F5.
Yeah, G5, his knight's going to bounce into F5. Yuck. We don't want that. So what we do, He's in time trouble. We're going to try and make it as messy as possible, give him a chance to go wrong. Hopefully we can confuse him. So he decides to take back with the G pawn. Okay, now hang on, we've got a problem here. If we take him back, his knight's still coming to F5 with that attack on our queen. So what could we do to keep our attack going? Not G takes F5. What could we do? Any ideas, Elijah? Most of the guys have seen it. They're screaming at us. What are they saying?
G5.
G5, yes. It doesn't matter about pawns. It matters about pieces and getting your pieces attacking. So poor old black, he's got a queen and a knight way over on the queen side. So we've got 3 pieces closer to the king side. So if we could open up his king and get an attack going, we might be in with a chance. All right, he plays knight G6. What are we going to do now? That knight's on a pretty good spot. How can we put him under pressure?
Bishop.
Yes, we pin his knight. Now we might be threatening knight F4, and then we take on G6, and we've got a passed H pawn or something maybe. White plays E5, and guess what happened? No. The computer says black resigned, but it's fibbing. Black said, I offer a draw. Okay, now black's got 4 minutes left on the clock. Ari's got a minute and a half, and we've got 2 moves to go. So guys, you can be Ari. Do you accept the draw or not accept the draw? You've been losing all game, but now you're getting a bit of an attack going. I think it's still even. No, you're a pawn down. Accept or decline? What are you doing? Gil and Callum are declining. Joey's declining. British, no. British has said no twice. Oliver says no. Josh, everyone's declining. What will you do, Elijah?
Decline.
Do you know what Ari did?
Accept.
He accepted. He said, thanks for the draw, mate. You've been crushing me all game, and I'm so happy to get a draw. So you plug this into your computer, and the computer says, hang on, white's winning. Now, can you help me? What do you reckon white's winning move would be? How can Ari keep his attack going? Well, we need to help Elijah here and help Ari, guys. So if you were white and you just declined the draw, what move are you going to make?
Bishop takes.
Bishop takes, knight, king takes. How are we going to follow that up? What can we do there? No one's got it yet. Come on, type in the questions.
Takes.
Pawn takes e5. He can do queen takes queen. We're not going to get a mating attack then. We want to open up his king. No one's got it yet. Thomas might have got it, but he hasn't told me which particular pawn he's moving.
Pawn takes F6.
Yes, I like pawn take. Whoops, hang on. I've got the wrong thing here. I like pawn takes F6. So what do you reckon black could do here?
Queen.
If he takes with the king, we can do pawn takes pawn and win his queen. So let's say he takes with the queen. Now we can do pawn takes e5, and he can't take back because his knight's pinned. Maybe he moves his queen back to e7.
And then you take the knight.
We don't take the knight.
No, check it, check.
We
check.
don't check. We just play f4. I'm thinking. So now look, we've got his knight pinned, his king's a bit open. He's got a pretty weak d pawn now. And white's more space, got a supporter pass pawn. I reckon white's winning. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ari should have played on and would probably have won. Wouldn't have helped Australia because we lost the match. We'd already lost 2 games and Bobby had had a draw. So we ended up losing 3-1, but we could have lost 2.5, 1.5. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting game to show you guys, just to show that you don't self-destruct even if you've got a defensive position. You hang around, play lots of solid little moves, and then when the time comes, if you need to, try and get some counterplay, go for broke like Ari did on the king side, and sometimes you get lucky and get a win, whereas before you've been losing pretty terribly. Now, as I mentioned, this is from the World U16 Team Championships in China. They've got live games and stuff, so if you guys want to log on online and try and follow some of the games if you're interested, Australia might fight its way back to the top few boards and get on the live boards if we're lucky in the next few rounds. Anyway, I'll let you know next week how we went. So that's the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you, Elijah, for coming along, and we'll see you all at next week's lesson. So good night, everyone.